when I was in college and first started getting involved in acting and film projects, I heard this radio ad, and it said something like, do you want to be the next big Hollywood star? Do you want to be on TV, movies, modeling? Come on down to the Marriott on Saturday, and our casting directors are going to make you famous. Something like that. And, so I was curious, and I headed down there, and it was a full room. There's about 100 people or so. And there was these attractive women who were waiting at the door and kind of, helped you to your seat. And then once the event started, the lights went down a little bit, and this guy came out who was supposed to be this, the Hollywood guru, and he said to the ladies, like, "Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the Puff Daddy concert tonight. They've got to get going to make the concert. They've got backstage passes." Which, when I got home, I Googled, and Puff Daddy was not playing anywhere near Michigan that night. I think he was in like New Jersey or something. So that was my first red flag. But then, they proceeded to talk about, what it's like to be an actor and how they have turned normal people like us into big stars. And they were going to begin a process where they made everyone leave the ballroom. And as they came back in, one by one, they had two people on each side of the door. And they were going to very quickly say yes, no, yes, no. And if they said no, then you had to leave immediately, and just like you didn't have what it takes to to continue with this seminar. And if you said yes, you got to stay and listen to the rest. So went back out, and I walked through, and they looked at me and then said, "Smile for me." And so I smiled, and they said, "Okay, yes." And so I went back and sat down with the rest of the people. And they probably cut the crowd in half, so maybe 50 people or so. And what this does is provides the illusion of exclusivity, like I made the cut, so I'm extra indebted to them, and I'm I'm gonna make it, So after they did the selection process, they started telling us about this conference that they have in LA. So you have to pay $2,500 for a ticket just to get into this place, and there you would have one-on-one interviews with representatives from all of the major networks and all of the big studios, stuff like that. So they gave us a form to fill out, and then we were to meet at the local talent agency who they partnered with in a couple of days to turn in your paperwork. Well, I went home, and I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and he put me in contact with one of his classmates at Northwestern, and got on the phone with her, and she said, "Dude, do not do this. This is a scam. Yes, there are people at the convention center who will be representing major networks, major studios, but they send their interns and the people who are the lowest on the totem pole to represent them at these events, because the conference pays those people to come. So of course they're gonna send people, but these are not people who are decision makers by any means in the industry. So with this knowledge, and that person I had talked to later became the head of the studio at, I think, the Sci-Fi Network or something like that. So she knew what she was doing. But I went to my follow-up appointment just out of curiosity, just to see what they would say, armed with that knowledge that this is BS. So I went back, and they said, "Okay, you got your paperwork, you got your check," and I was like, "Well, no, I don't." And the person exhaled and, "What's the problem? Do you not believe in yourself? Do you not want to achieve your dreams?" It's like, "No, that's fine, but I'm a college student and I don't have $2,500. They said, "You know what? If you really wanted this, you would go knock on doors and get donations and talk to people at work, your family, your friends. Don't you have people who believe in you and your dreams?" And I the more that I pushed back, the angrier and angrier they got. And because there was an audience of the other people, they didn't want to really kind of lose their top, but You could tell they were growingly frustrated. So, I just said I'm not comfortable doing that. And there was probably like 20 minutes of pleading and begging and saying, okay, well, what about this? You can go to the bank and you can get a small loan. And it was just like, one ridiculous thing after another. And the dude told me, there's this bald dude that was, one of the people there, and he said that I was the next Howie Mandel. And, this was this was 1998 or 1999 or something like that. And I was like, you know what, man, that's not that's not enticing to me at all. So I think this was around Deal or No Deal days. So young actors out there, and I think I've heard ads for these kinds of things ever since then, and I know they continue to go on. So if you're looking to get into the entertainment industry, do not go to one of these things that they advertise on the radio saying, we're going to make you famous. I mean, I live in a small town far away from California. There's no way that they are going to these places and trying to make these people into big stars. So just keep that in mind. If you are trying to become an actor, you've got a 4K phone in your pocket if you've got an iPhone. You've got free editing software at your disposal. You can load your stuff to YouTube, do something great, and load it, and make your own dreams come true.